You've always got these kind of arguments where somebody says, well, black people don't make Smith & Wesson. Black people didn't make knives. Black people don't make razors. They might use them, but they don't make them. But the point is, if I take a gun and I murder him, I'm guilty of that. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any difference who made the gun. In other words, if you make a sexist video, if you make a dehumanizing video, if you reduce a female to a bitch, a hoe, if you elevate a pimp who is one of the most scurry people on the face of the earth, if you do that, you have done something wrong.
I think it's very important to keep in mind that misogyny and patriarchy are very much a way of life in America. It goes from Wall Street to Main Street, and hip-hop in its dominant forms contributes to the worst of degraded images of women, especially black women. At the same time, you've got hip-hop artists who are very critical of those degrading images, but those artists don't receive the kind of visibility they deserve.
Here's the question.
Right.
If that's the reality,
thank you,
is hip-hop the culprit, or do we have to deal with the fact that the black church is as sexist by continuing to have only men at the forefront when all women serve? Is civil rights as sexist when black men were the spokespersons but women did all the work, and hip-hop inherited that sexism and misogyny? Come on.
From the world. That's just not here, that's the world.
No, the first thing, like you said, the first thing is this. Trying to obfuscate an individual wrong by enumerating a bunch of other ones doesn't have anything to do with the issue. If I go to attack her and she's fighting me off and I say, well, you know, there are a whole bunch of people in America who rape people. That doesn't change what I'm doing. That does not.
Wait.
That individual responsible instead of holding the whole culture.
Right. Now, T.I. Let me hold on. Let me let you come in on here real quick because he still didn't answer the question. But I want you to chime in.
This music has always been about what goes on in these neighborhoods. As Professor said, you know, he on the streets of Detroit, he heard a man say to a woman, you know, refer to her backside as her most valuable asset, if you will. So, of course, it's going to be reflected in hip-hop, which you will see on screen. But it started in the streets. And before it got to the street, it started in the house. And that person, that pimp, that person who you say is the scum of the earth, he was probably one of your sons. And you didn't spend enough time with him. So that's probably where it lies. That's probably where the problem lies. That's probably where the problem lies.
The problem is not that you're seeing this in hip-hop. The problem is that this is the only thing that you're seeing in hip-hop, and there's no longer diversity. When we look at hip-hop's earlier years, you saw so many different positive representations of women, but today, that is not what you're seeing. And no, there's nothing wrong with a woman being a video model and using that to further her career. But why can't women be looked at as intellectuals? So that's the thing. We have to stop looking at women as just one sort of thing. Okay, the only representation of women in hip-hop is the video model. No, women do many things.
But Jeff, this is what I was saying before when you cut me off before. Right. All I was saying is that when we talk about the reduction of black women's identity to something that is not essential to them and using them for purposes that don't elevate them, we can't start with hip-hop, because I was about to say 75% of the black church is constituted by black women. They can cook, they can clean, they can sew, they can pay their tithes, but they can't run the church they numerically dominate. That's ecclesiastical apartheid. You got women up in there who can't dominate the very institution they run. So I'm saying to you, you may not be calling a woman a bitch, a hoe, a skeezer, a slut, a chickenhead, a hood rat, but if you treat them in a certain way, they become ecclesiastical hoes because you, as the preacher, become the pimp articulating a gospel that demonizes them.
Again, in part, and just as she said,
I'm saying in part, not all of it.
Early on in hip-hop, as she said from early on in hip-hop, there's still so many different types of diversified forms of hip-hop that are out there. But you know what? They don't see the light of day. You know why? Because the people don't buy it. You know why? Because the standards aren't set there in the home.
But can I challenge that?
When Two Live Crew come out and go triple platinum, and then you have Brand Nubian, who only sold 300,000 that year. You know what I'm saying? That just says where America wants to hear. Don't blame us for selling it, blame them for buying.
Because you know what hip-hop is? Hip-hop is a mirror. All hip-hop is a mirror, and it's staring at America right back in his face. And that's what you're getting right now. It's a big mirror, and this is what you created. And America is looking in this mirror, and sometimes they don't like what they see, but it's what you created, and now it's due to us, like I said again, to work our way up out of it, but we got to start with the kids. We lost a generation. We lost a generation. We can't get that crack. We cannot get those those early 90s, late 80s. We can't get that back. But if we don't start here and stop complaining about what was and start with the what is, we're going to forever be lost.
Before you come in, Dr. Dyson, because I want to deal with part of the what is. And I'm seeing around the country, hold up.
I got you.
White women, suburban women taking pole classes.
Right.
Right, as a workout.
Good.
Now, we find ourselves in a place that hip-hop in many cases glamorized strippers.
Right.
To the place where it's become acceptable in areas where traditionally it would have been put away.
Well, you made a very interesting point. You said glamorize. It didn't create it, glamorize it. Glorifies it. That's one thing. Glorification and glamorization are, in one sense, an excessive concentration on something that's pre-existing, so they didn't create it. That's very important to say. And usually it's the extension of black male crotch or white male crotch. The challenge I would like to give to my beautiful, brilliant brothers here, T.I. and Nelly, yes, it is a mirror. Tupac said, somebody wake me, I'm dreaming. I started as a seed and semen swimming upstream, planted in the womb while screaming. Okay, beautiful. But it's not just a mirror. Martin Luther King Jr., if he worked off a mirror, would have said, I'm going to reflect back to white pathological society, the white supremacy they put in me. He said, no, it's not a mirror. I got a dream. A dream shatters the mirror that is reflected back to what they create in us, and we can create different models, paradigms, and understandings ourselves. So I would say, if in your videos you could have not only women shaking their behinds, but displaying the intellectual acuity that they possess that allows them to do something different than shake their behind. Where are the different images, even in your videos and in the videos of black people who are rap artists, that show something different? I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying we have to have a broader complex of images from which they can draw.
People have to support it. We're going to be out of business. If we put a bunch of school teachers in suit jackets and long skirts in that video, and BET say, what is this? We can't play this. What we gonna do?
Melissa. What you saying? Because we've done those videos. So what are you saying? Do we take the sisters out and put in white women?
Oh, whoa.
No,
Melissa, I need you to come in. I need you to come in right here.
Up a whole
Melissa,
issue now.
I feel like I'm trying to get on the highway, and the cars are just going this way. Just like, can't get on the highway.
Come on, get on the highway.
Come on in.
I mean, but let's not overcomplicate the situation. It's great to look at this as an intellectual conversation, but what are the kids listening to right now? Are they going to listen to T.I. and Nelly, or are they going to listen to the intellectuals? And we have to remember that when we put it in the music, in our messages. Now, when
Kim is very accurate because a lot of times the images that are on our screen are because of the lyrical content. It's telling a story. Music tells a story. The videos play out the story of the lyrical content. Music has become extremely formulaic these days. It talks about a lifestyle that is extremely hard to emulate. Very few of us can actually afford the lifestyle that is portrayed in music videos these days. And a large portion of that lifestyle is to have not just one girl, not just two, but 20. And that lends credibility to this, to the virality of men, the stamina of the rap star. You know what I'm saying?
And what she's dealing with is, here's the point we're not dealing with. We're talking about gender. It's not just about women. It's about men. Why are the narrow, emaciated, famished perceptions of men reduced to what we can do with our crotch or what we can do with our cash? Can we do something with our souls, our minds, our spirits?
They're not. Those images are there. Like, there are many artists that are putting out positive images talking about something different. They're not getting the right promotion. They're not getting the right play. I sat here with Nelly, and he said that his label doesn't even want him to be here today. So we have to look at that. Instead of attacking him for Tip Drill, which has all of a sudden defined his career.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what happened. Embrace the fact that he's here talking about it.
We are out of time, but the conversation doesn't end here. The issues discussed tonight have to be an ongoing part of all of our conversations, not just those on TV.
All of us have a stake in hip-hop's future, the labels, the artists, and especially the fans. If it dies, it's your fault.
Thank you all for watching. Thanks to our audience and to our guests. I'm Jeff Johnson.
I'm Toure. Peace.
Peace.